The tiny house movement has sparked inspiration as an alternative to conventional housing, offering people an affordable, minimalist lifestyle that encourages autonomy and financial freedom. Today, many tiny houses are built on wheels and do not include ownership of land, making them one of the most economical options for obtaining private living space while freeing individuals from the burdens of land ownership, monthly bills, and tax obligations. The movement's advocates often argue for the right to accessible housing, even in high-demand urban areas, as a matter of basic human dignity. While I wholeheartedly understand and respect these sentiments, the reality is that integrating tiny homes into densely populated cities is fraught with challenges that can't be ignored. Due to space, infrastructure, and the community-based framework cities operate within, this approach may not be a practical solution for everyone. Instead, other options, like dedicated tiny home villages, offer more balanced, realistic ways to meet affordable housing needs while maintaining urban cohesion. Before beginning, I would like to clarify that the tiny houses discussed here do not pertain to backyard suites, in-law suites, additional dwelling units, ADUs, or similar supplementary dwelling options promoted in many urban municipalities, as these rely on existing main buildings that meet safety codes and can be managed within the established regulatory framework, rather than embodying the same autonomous principles as standalone tiny homes. The desire for tiny homes in cities is rooted in practical needs. Urban areas offer critical access to employment, amenities, and infrastructure that would require substantial investment to replicate independently. For those with city-based jobs, shorter commutes mean greater convenience, cost savings, and an improved quality of life. Additionally, cities provide social and cultural resources that enrich day-to-day life, making them desirable not only for professional reasons but also for personal fulfillment. Recognizing these needs allows us to appreciate the appeal of urban tiny homes while considering the challenges that arise in integrating them within established urban frameworks. The qualities that make urban areas appealing, proximity to jobs, diverse amenities, and robust infrastructure, are highly sought after but inherently limited. Space, resources, and access are finite in densely populated cities, and maintaining equitable access to these shared assets requires careful planning and management. Every resident, regardless of housing type, relies on these assets, which makes it impossible to guarantee unlimited access as a fundamental right in such constrained environments. Urban living is a delicate balance of compromises, with each resident's needs impacting the overall community. Urban areas face considerable limitations on space, especially in highly desirable neighborhoods. Cities with high population densities are already struggling to accommodate new residents, often at the expense of green spaces or affordable multifamily housing developments. If tiny homes were integrated throughout these areas, they would add new demands on already limited land, infrastructure, and public services, regardless of their small footprint. Though everyone deserves secure housing, it's essential to recognize that high-demand areas simply don't have the capacity to meet the needs of everyone who might prefer to live there. Urban space is a valuable, shared resource that relies on thoughtful sacrifice and compromise from everyone. Living in a city means adhering to certain collective practices that make urban life possible, practices that ensure public spaces, resources, and services are accessible to all, not just available to individuals based on personal needs. Just as we don't use a library as a kitchen or a public park for grazing animals, tiny homes in dense city spaces must also align with this collective responsibility. The conveniences, social resources, and infrastructure that make city life attractive are the product of this careful balance, and it's only by respecting shared limitations that everyone can enjoy these urban benefits. The building codes and zoning laws that guide urban development may seem restrictive at times, yet they're designed to ensure that neighborhoods remain safe, stable, and suitable for long-term living. These regulations address critical issues, like fire safety, waste management, and the structural durability of homes, concerns that are particularly pressing in close-knit, high-density communities. If tiny homes were allowed exemptions from these standards in established neighborhoods, it would introduce dual standards that could create tension among residents who have built or bought homes under traditional guidelines. As an alternative to integrating tiny homes into conventional neighborhoods, designated tiny home villages offer a way to meet affordable housing needs while preserving community standards. In these villages, tiny home residents could share similar goals and expectations, creating a supportive and like-minded environment that reflects their lifestyle choice. The tiny house movement is grounded in the right to individual autonomy and self-sufficiency, which is a vision I truly appreciate. However, living within a city requires a delicate balance between personal freedoms and the well-being of the larger community. In conclusion, while the tiny house movement reflects a creative and meaningful response to housing challenges, integrating tiny homes widely in large urban areas presents practical and logistical hurdles that can't be overlooked. The finite space, need for regulatory consistency, and community cohesion make it difficult for tiny homes to fit seamlessly into high-density neighborhoods.